Who has been living in China, says Canadians would never tolerate a Chinese-style lockdown, not being able to leave their apartments, for example, not even for groceries, and having to get tested nearly every single day. Experts say China's zero-COVID lockdown measures are effective, but not sustainable. Botelho has details.
A month of lockdown in a Chinese city of 13 million people, but not the kind of lockdowns we have here in Canada.
Everything else outside was closed. There's no traffic on the streets.
Dan Quinlan, who is originally from Hamilton, has been living in Xi'an, China, a city that is about a 2-hour plane ride from Beijing. He has been working as a teacher there for years. On Monday, he and the other residents of the city were finally allowed out of their homes, the first time they could roam free in a month.
All of a sudden, they said, you're free.
And so you didn't know when you went into lockdown how long it would be?
Certainly not, yeah. I thought it might be, a couple days or something like that.
Days turned into weeks. Residents were not even allowed to shop for essentials like food. Instead, groceries would be dropped off at their homes every once in a while. But like clockwork, residents had to get tested just outside of their homes. Quinlan says almost every day.
Yeah, just outside of our building, everybody would line up. They'd call you building by building. You go out, get the swab, and you go back in.
Quinlan says he can't imagine a lockdown like this would go over well here in Canada. Charles Burton, who's done extensive work and research relating to China and Chinese-Canadian affairs, says Chinese people don't protest these extreme measures for fear of what might happen if they did.
Would end up in prison without due process of law and the possibility of torture and interrogation.
Quinlan says the lockdown ended once the city hit 0 COVID cases. Burton says this approach is certainly effective in stopping transmission and deaths, but it's extreme.
You have situations in Xi'an where people were locked into their buildings. In other words, they locked the door from the outside, and then there became issues like, the government promised to send in food, and the food wasn't arriving.
I'm from Canada, strong and free. So I just wanted to go for a walk somewhere,
And while some Canadians think lockdowns here have been tough, Quinlan says we have no idea. Botelho, CHCH News.